sad that I love Rebels Anakin so much more than prequel Anakin.
Right?
Mm-hmm. They did a much better job.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Brad is playing with his toys.
Put your lightsaber away.
No, keep it
Shanti.
out. Oh, you know what though?
And she
It's
becomes
kinda-
one
It
with
messes with the
It's
and she
kinda
becomes
weird.
one with the Force as
Yeah.
she plays with a lightsaber.
It's kind of weird. You know what? While you guys are playing, I'm gonna. What the hell?
We're
What
just
is
gonna play
going
with our
on?
toys.
What is going on?
Are we doing
I'm
the
everybody?
show?
bringing this to ScarifCon.
We're live.
Oh,
While you guys are playing with your toys, I'm gonna drink my beer.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
I suggest we use it. What's up, Scuttlebutt Nation? Thank you very much for joining us on another Saturday edition of Scarif Live here at the Scarif Scuttlebutt Podcast. With me, as always, I got Team Scarif. I got the whole crew up in here. Shanti, how's it going?
I'm in a great mood because I saw the Elvis movie earlier with my
Oh,
mom.
yeah.
It didn't suck.
I loved it, and so did my mom. My mom absolutely loved it. As someone that said that she went through that from beginning to end, she absolutely loved the movie.
They didn't change canon or anything?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Sorry, that's Kenobi.
He still dies in the end.
And the butt to my scuttle.
Always on the bottom. Always on the bottom.
Well, you know, when we started the Scarif podcast, that you made me promise that you. Oh, God. Ay. Brad, how you doing, my friend?
I'm fantastic, man. I got to do shopping today. I wanted to mention it before you completely forgot that's supposed to do show and tell. So whenever you're ready, I'm ready to do show and tell.
Yeah. We got to bring our guest in because he's got some show and tell as well.
Yeah.
I noticed your cap is non-Star Wars related. What's going on?
I got to rep the Chicago today. You know, I got to get solidarity here.
Interesting. Did they play today?
No, man, they're so done.
Oh, I'm not.
I don't know if you know this, but
no.
they kind of suck.
I don't know. You're right. I don't know this.
God, just like the Bears. It's okay.
My business partner always tells me, he goes, "What do you do on Sundays?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because there's sports on Sundays. I'm like, "Well, it's just a regular day for me. What are you talking about?"
That's a religious day, not for like church purposes or anything. It'd be weird.
Well, we are here talking about the Kenobi, the series finale. It's done. It's over with. See you later. Bye-bye until the possible expectation of having a season 2. But we have a special guest that we're going to bring out here. And I saw his posts early on, I think a day after the last episode popped up. And interesting. I was kind of, maybe thinking about it, putting 2 and 2 together. But we will bring him out here. And, when we get into Kenobi, we'll ask him and we'll get everybody's take on this final episode.
Hey, before we start, I would just like to say right now that there is a Joker voice statement that I agree with in the chat. That's Sundays for football and beer. Okay. That'll be the last one for the evening. But let's take what we can get.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Joker voice. And let's say hello before we bring out our guest. Let's say hello to the chat. We got the Frank, we got Dave. Thank you very much. We got Vader Rapina. Thank you so much for joining us. Tina, obviously we mentioned Joker voice. Melanie, my friend. Oh my God, I just listened again to the Black Hole episode with Melanie. We got to have you on more often, Melanie, because you rock.
Please.
Totally. Who else is in there? Thank you very much, guys. The Jedi of Chicago just joined us. Did I mention Tina? Yes, Tina. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. This is going to be a good show. Let's bring in author extraordinaire, Mr. Stephen Kent. He is joining us again here at the Scarif Citadel. My friend Stephen, how are you?
Ready to deploy the garrison.
There you go.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking
Hell
about.
yes. Thank you very much. You are always welcome here at the Scarif podcast live and not so live. You can kind of come on by and
Just a
record
live show,
whatever you
it's not
want.
the
Just a live
podcast.
show. Yeah, right. Exactly. But thanks for coming.
Happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me back. There's lots to talk about.
Absolutely. But before we get into Kenobi on the interwebs, I can see that that Brad went shopping today and picked up a couple of things.
You guys ain't ready. You ain't ready for it tonight.
And let's see what, since Brad is so excited about showing everybody his toys, let's go with Brad first. What did you get, Brad?
Thanks. All right. So Amy and I went to the antique mall, and this place is legit. The whole second floor is like Star Wars stuff. So first off, you see Anakin right here, and he's a badass. And he says all kinds of things. Give it everything you've got. That's what she said. I got a bad feeling about this. So awesome. All right. So these are in order of, well, no, Anakin's pretty cool. But a couple new droids.
Nice.
I hadn't seen this one before. And he's got a friend. I thought those were cool. I had never seen those before.
Wait, let me see that. Wait.
Let me see.
It's like BB-8, but not.
Oh, but they're not Funko Pops, right?
No.
No, they're just like alters.
Oh.
I don't know. They're cool. But also found a Star Wars music box.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
I like that. Oh, that's great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
that.
Brad,
But now
tonight, Brad, I'm going to call you, and you can put me to sleep tonight at midnight when we're done.
yeah.
Lullaby.
Just lullaby it for me. Thank you
And
so much.
the coolest thing, because I have to get all things Star Wars related, as we all know. I don't
Except your hat and your shirt. Yeah, I
except for
got
my
you.
hat and my shirt. What's your hat say?
This
never mind.
is
That's
Scarif.
I need that hat. Anyway, so from June of 2005, if now is a good time to be a geek, June of 2005 was a real good time to be a geek. 1 month after episode 3 came out.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
remember
sure you
that too.
Yeah.
And so
Fond memories of that
so,
issue.
right? I love
Is
the
this what you're
articles
bringing on
about.
Scarif After Dark?
Yes,
Oh, there you go.
yes. It is the
Nice.
Star Wars.
The best Star Wars journalism.
I will
ever produced.
will find the appropriate pictures as the show goes on. I will not. This is a hell yeah. This is a kids
Remind
show, though.
me, what did Ryling? Who did she play? Like, what was the context for that shoot?
Yep, I'll get back to you. I'll be reading.
Dude, I was gonna say, does it
y'all,
matter?
y'all,
He's just looking at the pictures.
I'm reading the articles, bro.
I was gonna say he's reading the
I gotta
articles.
find out where these. I just flipped through the whole thing. I don't know where the Star Wars stuff is.
Was she
But,
in one of the cut scenes of the meeting between the inner workings of the rebellion? I thought she was a character.
Sure.
Bai Ling, who appears in the new Star Wars film. Okay, page 138. All right. All right, 138. Let's see.
You won't get timed out.
Oh yeah, no, it's episode 3, cut scenes from the rebellion meeting. Yeah, she was a star.
That's not her. Okay. Whoa. Yeah.
Tina says, "Brad, back to
Earth, Brad.
What? Hey,
I love
look,
this right
it's
now.
research. Hold on. Oh, these.
Yeah, for science.
There are
We're just-
no.
We're just sitting here watching Brad
This is-
flip through his
Okay,
As long
we're
as
gonna
he
get
keeps his
we're gonna get
hands up
back
here,
to
we're
this.
good.
But yeah, Star Wars special. Scarif After Dark. Tune in.
That's hilarious.
Chantal
Good
hasn't
stuff.
invited me on yet, so.
Oh,
Good
you're
stuff.
coming on. You actually gave me a topic, so
Good stuff. Good stuff.
coming on for sure.
I haven't seen any lightsabers in there yet, but I'm gonna find them. Yeah. So anyway,
Wonderful
Moving right
opening.
along.
what are we talking about? What are we talking
Huh?
Show and tell.
Squirrel?
about? Yeah.
That was a good one for show
No
and tell.
more show and tell tonight.
But Steven, how about you? You got a little show and tell for us?
Yeah, I've got my show and tell right here. 5 years ago, I ordered from a Novos. They did Star Wars collectible memorabilia, like merchandise stuff. So like replicas of costume pieces. I ordered the Director Krennic cape. And like 2 years later, it still had not shown up. And then they were part of a multi-state lawsuit. Someone did take a Novos to court for not fulfilling orders and like not fulfilling orders under false pretenses. So a Novos, which used to be where you could get like an awesome clone helmet or something like that, they went under. So they were completely sued to death. And I never got my cape. I never got my $200 back. It was only $200, but like I really just like I didn't want to buy it again.
Spoken like a true Star Wars fan. It was only $200. I love it.
And so I got an email about a year ago saying that a Novos had been like purchased, like, and all of its holdings by this new company called Deneo Novo or something like that. And Deneo Novo was going to take up all of their unfulfilled orders, and I was promised my cape. And five years later, I have my Director Krennic cape, and it is glorious. So
very nice.
I am very excited and ready to deploy the garrison.
Very nice.
Are we blind?
Can you look like you're getting force choked and slightly enjoying it now? I mean, that was a weird scene. I mean, the dude got force choked, but then he smiled. So I'm just saying,
some people
Krennic
like
some weird,
that.
Krennic into some weird stuff. I'm just telling you.
It's true. Krennic could have an OnlyFans.
I am wearing a choker.
Just getting choked out by Vader. Anyways, so yeah,
this is why we don't have force powers.
You're gonna make Steven blush.
I got my cape. I'm very excited. So now my Krennic costume is complete,
Nice.
and I can now apply for 501st.
Sweet.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Very nice.
Are you actually going to apply for the 501st?
I intend to. Yes.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to take issue with my boots. My boots are like what are they called? Horse police, horse cops. Yeah, they're horse cop hand-me-downs. So they actually just barely run aside from 501st regs, but they look amazing. Mm-hmm. They're amazing boots. So we'll see.
Those guys are assholes. I mean, they have really high standards.
We can ask. Yeah, we can ask Todd over at WSTR, but definitely that's pretty cool. Krennic, I saw the picture that you posted, and it looked fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Nobody looks at your feet, anyways.
Nope, not a big
Unless
deal.
you're into that.
Unless you're into that, yeah, exactly.
Bad Daddy Orson Krennic is into that. He's into feet.
All right, Shanti, show and tell.
I got nothing. I'm broke.
All right.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Have a great night.
So I'm going to do a show and tell, but
do some reading.
This is going to be these are going to be some of the items that we're giving away tonight. Last week we gave away a Star Wars Lego mini Lego set, the Razor Crest. I have two of them, so I'm going to give another one away tonight, which these are pretty cool. Last week, our friend Kelly, Lunar Girl, won this, and I've got a Funko Pop, but this one's pretty cool. It's Boba Fett, the Target exclusive, and he's all red. Look at that.
That's awesome.
So Brad's got some questions later on our Sentry Mode segment, but the piece.
Hey, Stephen, can I buy a book from you, and then can you send a book out? Can we do that?
You don't want to buy it from Amazon?
No, I mean I've already got one. I want to give it away.
Oh, you can sign it, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll buy it from you.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, yeah. So do one of two things. So for a book, I can send you like a signed sticker that goes on the inside, and it's like a book insert. And it's actually got original artwork on it, so I can mail you that anytime.
Yeah, can you do that? And I'm gonna I'm going to get another copy of Stephen's book, which is over on my bookshelf. So in the midst of this show, I will come up with a fourth question.
My book,
And,
How the Force Can Fix the World.
And yes,
That's
because
the one.
it is a really good book. And we talked about it a few months ago when Stephen was on the show.
Yeah.
But I think it's especially with the crap that's going on right now in the real world. It's a good read.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, not to derail too early, but I mean, one of my favorite chapters on the book is about the Star Wars principle of balance. So it's about all of the key Star Wars virtues, whether it's empathy, humility, redemption. There's this really long chapter on balance in how the Force can fix the world, and I ended up making it about America's toxic relationship to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And sort of this Jedi prophecy that the Jedi seem to interpret the prophecy of one bringing balance to the Force as the Sith will be destroyed.
Right.
And like that never made sense. Why did that ever make sense that a prophecy of balance meant the other side loses? And so I ended up kind of spinning that out into, I think, a pretty darn good Supreme Court analogy about the imbalances of power that we have in our republic. So something to consider.
Stick around to the end because the last gift we're going to give away is a signed copy of Stephen's book.
Very
So
cool.
we'll get that out to you. And Stephen, I'll send you all the information once we.
Sure. Yeah. Let me know what I need.
Mm-hmm. One of the other things that we are going to be giving away is a season 1 Mandalorian tiki mug.
Yay.
Signed by our friend Dominic Pace. So that's another thing we're going to be giving away. I got to take this out of the box because it is sweet.
It's really beautiful.
You can put your adult libation, your summer adult libation in here. Ice it up real nice. Hold on a second. I got to take it out because it's really a beautiful piece. Kudos to Dominic and the folks over at the Tiki Company. What is the name of the company? Beeline Creative. And this is kind of cool. It is Dominic's first officially licensed Lucasfilm product. There he is right there. The Gecko the Bounty Hunter with Grief Karga. And it's really, really a great piece.
Mm-hmm.
Great collectible for everybody. So we'll give one of these away as well. Brad has the questions ready, but we won't do that until the end. And I would be remiss if I did not mention that Dominic Pace will be on the Scarif Scuttlebutt on July 9th. Saturday, July 9th, we're going to be catching up with him to see what he's been doing. I know he's been doing his tour again. You can pick up one of these if you are in a participating city, a touring city. You can pick up one of these, but we're going to give one away tonight, and we're also going to give one away on July 9th. We've got 2 of them signed, so stay tuned for that. So July 9th, Scarif Live, he'll be back. And we will also be hanging out with him July 23rd at ScarifCon here in Chicago in Rosemont, actually. So that should be a lot of fun. We're going to have the 501st. We're going to have live cast. We're going to have a red carpet event. We are going to have guests and friends hang out, drink, have pizza. I'm bringing a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to have a lot of fun. So please join us if you are in the Chicagoland area. We have a lot of Red 5 folks coming by to hang out with us and Mr. Dominic Pace.
I want to go so bad.
We're crossing our fingers. You got the cape.
I got the cape. What the cape is not going to help me
fly over
Chicago.
You're using it. You're using
That's
it
not how
wrong.
the Force works.
That's not how the Force works. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
excellent.
Fingers crossed. I want to come.
It's going to be a fun one. Absolutely. So it's we're having it at usually we have it at Alley Cat Comics, which is a nice little comic shop in the Andersonville neighborhood in Chicago here. They have a nice patio outside. It was really nice. Shanti, you were there last year. A lot of fun. We have pizza in the restaurant in Andersonville, which is a lot of fun. But this year, I think there are a boatload more people coming, so we had to expand the facility. We're having it at Murray's Caddyshack restaurant, and that should be a lot of fun. Bigger place, bigger venue, food and drink specials. It's going to be a blast with a capital B. All right, my friends. What are we talking about? Kenobi.
No, it's Obi-Wan this time.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah. We got the first half this time.
All right. I'm gonna go around the board and let's get everybody's take. Now that the 6 episodes are out, we're done biting our nails here to we were excited about this coming out, but let's see what you guys feel like now that it's over. We have been talking about every episode on Scarif Live on Saturdays, but I want to get everybody's kind of feeling as far as did it live up to your expectations, et cetera, et cetera. Shanti, let's go with you since you're up there on top. What did you think of the series overall? And I can't say anything with her, man. I swear.
You walked right into it.
Exactly.
You did. I'm sorry.
That's what she said.
So I liked it better than Boba Fett because everything is better than Boba Fett.
I think so.
But I did not like it more than Mando. I was satisfied. So I'll go with that. I was satisfied. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, there was really only one episode that I can say that I actually just didn't like at all. Other than that, it met my expectations, but it did not exceed them.
Okay. I'm seeing that 7 out of 10 all over the place. It seems to be kind of a consensus regarding
these days. That's phenomenal. These
That's
days.
actually, yeah. I actually would go that low. I would still probably give it overall probably a 9 out of 10 the entire show.
Yeah.
Satisfied with a 9 out of 10. You were just satisfied with a 9 out of 10.
All right,
look,
fine.
Joker voice.
8. I'll give it an 8.
I wouldn't have seen that coming. I wouldn't have seen that coming.
8.5.
Yeah, I think mine would be a
only
little
have
higher
2
than a 7.
bugaboos. I only have 2 bugaboos, honestly.
Wait, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Star Wars bugaboo?
Yeah.
The negatives. Yeah.
All right. How about our guest, Steven?
I identify with the 7 out of 10, with the finale getting an 8 out of 10. I echo that entirely, and the finale redeemed many things. I've described like Obi-Wan as sort of a stumbling slog towards some really satisfying stuff. I cannot begin to describe to you how much the prequel worship and prequel flashbacks and Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor interaction means to me. I love seeing that. That was my Star Wars. And I also, I raised my daughter on the prequels, and watching that finale and that face-to-face scene and the brokenheartedness of Obi-Wan that echoed the exact same scene that Ahsoka had in Rebels of cutting off Vader's mask with my daughter, who grew up loving Rebels as well. That just was really special. So it really redeems a lot. But I have a lot to say about the stumbles that it took to get there that were unnecessary, but I prefer to focus on the positives.
Well, we'll definitely focus on the positive, but we're not afraid to mention what we didn't like here on Scarif, as you know. But yeah, absolutely. I think I mentioned early on that I saw some of the posts that you dropped in the Twitterverse, and we'll definitely touch on that, because I think it's something that I also felt as an adult Star Wars fan. I think I was connecting with that particular post. But Brad, what about you? You seem very giddy, and
I am. So there is some serious unoriginality. There was some serious blatant fan service, and I loved it. I thought it was a great series. It did stumble at a few spots throughout the show, as you guys are saying, but I don't think it broke any canon whatsoever. For those saying it broke canon, I know somebody will immedially respond in the chat disagreeing with me. That's fine.
I can see Joker typing already.
Yeah, you don't have to. We already know that you disagree with me. But I don't think, and I put this on Twitter, I don't think it broke canon. I think in some points it reinforced canon. There are some lines in, like I said, A New Hope and Return of the Jedi that were kind of weak, didn't really stand on their own very well. And this, fill in the blanks in a lot of those cases. One thing I never liked about Episode 4 is when Obi-Wan calls him Darth. Because I think originally Darth was probably supposed to be his first name, not his title. But now the way that Obi-Wan said Darth in this show shows that he just made the decision to drop his name and go with his Sith title instead. So it actually makes Darth sound better in Episode 4 as well. And there's some other examples as well, and some good connections with even Rogue One, which we all love. So all kinds of good connections. And just for the record, as I put on Twitter, I called it last week. By all means, go back and watch last week's show. I said, for example, I think Anakin or Vader is going to get his mask cut off, and then you're going to hear Hayden's voice probably, overlapping with James Earl Jones's voice. And that's exactly what I got. So you're welcome. That's like the one prediction out of like 67 that I've made about these shows that I
over
got
the
right.
last few years.
Yeah. So I gotta say it when it happens.
Yeah, I think they did that really
I enjoyed it.
very well. I think they did that very well. One of the things that, and Stephen, you mentioned it, just regarding the fact that we get Hayden and Ewan back, post the prequel trilogy. It's while I was watching them interact in that last final scene in the battle here, when they were, Vader was kind of half unmasked, I found it incredibly satisfying that we are getting this story after Revenge of the Sith. There's a continuation of that dynamic between the two characters that I think I hold in a special place in my heart because of the prequels. I was never a prequel hater. There was obviously some things that I was like, I wasn't too crazy about, but to me, they were still, obviously they were, George's stories, and this is what we were getting. And but just seeing these two characters back on screen in this way really got me choked up. I think they did a great job. I wish we would have seen Hayden a little more than just that one flashback in chapter 5 or episode 5, because the fans really seem to gravitate toward Hayden Christensen coming back in the role, and I'm so happy about that. I'm really happy about that. Oh, you're on mute, Stephen.
I think it's in many ways because the fans wanted the same validation that maybe Hayden Christensen is enjoying, because so many of us who grew up with the prequels as being our primary entry into Star Wars, like, it was actually like a painful experience having to constantly engage with older fans who made our fandom of Phantom Menace and Episode 2 and 3 uncomfortable. So like, I think we were all just enjoying that validation in a way to see the prequels taken seriously. I will say that on the point of like breaking canon or keeping canon, I had to think about this a little bit, because I've had very torn feelings on whether or not a confrontation between Vader and Anakin, or Vader and Obi-Wan, was a good idea in this show, because I do think the best thing to do is to jump from 3 all the way to 4 with no rematch in between. However, the more that I thought about how Obi-Wan Kenobi has accepted the idea that Anakin is dead, that Anakin Skywalker is dead, that Vader is the only thing left, and that he is more machine now than man, as he talks about in Episode 6 to Luke, he's very certain, like, you cannot redeem this guy. It is over for him, and you need to eliminate him from the galaxy. Like, that's the Obi-Wan Kenobi point of view, and Luke defies him and redeems him anyways. He has to have another thing happen to help to really form that opinion. And the more I watched the finale, and I've watched it 3 times now, I was like, oh, this event in many ways does help clarify for him that, oh, he really is gone. He's not just Anakin in armor. Anakin is really dead. So something else had to happen. And this is sufficient, I think, to help get us there, where Obi-Wan believes the Sith lie about death and rebirth as a Darth.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Go
I
with
thought
that.
for sure that was my biggest concern going into this show was obviously, well, I'm not the exception here. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Mm-hmm.
We were all worried about that. Obviously, episode 3, he becomes Darth Vader shortly after becoming a Jedi Knight. And then he falls to the dark side. So it made sense that he was referring to episode 3. And we were all worried that, whatever happened here would break that line. But I think, having Obi-Wan kick his ass and showing that he still had a lot of learning to do, I think it works. I was surprised how it worked, but I think it worked pretty well.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was never afraid of that line kind of getting ruined because I think everybody was talking about it. It was non-specific. To me, it was non-specific. It's like they could have met somewhere between there. And I think they did a pretty good job, especially by introducing that little flashback where they're sparring on Coruscant. I think, even then, obviously, you can tell that Anakin still had a lot to learn. Anakin is strong-headed. And I think Obi-Wan was kind of teaching him that, you don't need to win every battle. Just defend yourself. That's the Jedi way. And Anakin wasn't having any of that. It's interesting. I love the dynamic between those two characters.
So Joker Voice is talking about Leia in the story. I'm not quite sure how it breaks canon, but on the topic of Leia, I just want to say how much I freaking love every scene between Obi-Wan and I was going to wait till later, until we got, to that part of the show. But I just want to go over what Obi-Wan said to Leia after they returned to Alderaan when he talked about knowing her parents. And I'm telling you, if you don't get emotional hearing that, when he said he knew his mom, he knew her mom and her dad. And from her mother, wise, discerning, kind-hearted. And from her father, passionate, fearless, and forthright. Now, if that is not a perfect description of Padme, of Anakin, and of Leia from this age on to the end of the sequel trilogy, I don't know what is. That is freaking perfect.
It's so
Stop.
perfect. When you're able to say nice
Yeah.
things about someone who's failed, like
Mhm.
the fact that Obi-Wan was able to pull those 3 words about his friend Anakin and separate that from what he knows has become of this person. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that is unconditional brotherly kind of love, and it was really well done.
Yeah. So I don't think it broke canon. And now seeing her reactions, or now the original holo that she sends to Obi-Wan, help us, Obi-Wan, you're your only hope. And then her getting excited about Obi-Wan being on the Death Star.
And she
Now
even
those-
called him Obi-Wan when she hugged him that last time.
So I don't think it breaks canon.
No, I don't either. I think it connects beautifully.
I do have concerns that it makes canon a little bit blurry as it regards Leia's relationship to Obi-Wan. I enjoyed young Leia in the show very much. I thought she brought a lot to the table, and I want more. I do just go like, all right, I feel like this made something a little bit muddy that never should have been. If I could have redone it, I probably would not have a Leia arc in the Obi-Wan show, but it's there now. So to Joker Voice's concern that she doesn't elicit an emotional reaction on the Death Star when she learns that, Luke's friend, Ben Kenobi, has died. I share that concern. I have said that a couple of times. I was called sexist actually the other day over this concern. I didn't expect that one. I was like, they were like, oh, because the woman who just lost her planet and her family didn't emote enough for you. And I was like, I mean, come on, that's not what I mean. I always admired her strength under that tense situation, and I think I write about this a little bit in the Hope chapter of how the Force can fix the world. That Leia's stoic reaction to losing her family and her planet, and comforting Luke in episode 4 when he's lost this old man that he knew for 2 days. I look at that as like one of her just huge redeeming strengths.
Sure.
And so
Her compassion.
I guess now they just have another thing that is shoved into her emotional load that she's bearing at that moment.
Right.
But I kind of question the wisdom of having done that.
Let's also not forget that this woman's, from being a girl, she's now been tortured multiple times.
Right.
She was tortured as a child. We saw in this series, she was tortured in episode 4, unbeknownst to her, by her father. So somebody like that, let's talk realistic, is going to be somewhat emotionally detached in order to deal with things.
I agree.
Yep.
And that's reality.
That's what
it is. It's true.
What a leader does.
Yeah. Melanie,
So we don't have time for this. It's true.
Melanie has a good point there too. Things are happening so fast. And obviously 2020 or it's hindsight. So we're talking about something that was written, in the past.
For all of us, right.
Kind of,
Could I add one more well actually onto that? The emotional reaction part. So I was trying to think about this very literally, like, would Leia have strong emotional connection to Obi-Wan Kenobi come episode 4, so 10 years later down the line? And I was just trying to think about myself at 10. Now, she did have a traumatizing experience. She was kidnapped, taken away from her home, and shipped around a couple of different planets, and this guy saved her. But I also went on a vacation when I was 10 and spent like an entire week with one of my dad's best friends. He talked about him since, I was able to understand. And I was like, all right, we're taking a vacation with this guy that my dad, loves dearly. And I got to know this person. By the time I'm 20, I couldn't tell you who that person was.
Sure.
So I'm just saying, 10 years later, can you really feel strongly about a person who you met one time when you were 10 for about 2 or 3 days? I don't know. I think it's maybe a stretch.
So,
Sure.
And I think, the good chat that we have going on here tonight from everybody here in the chat. But I think we might be looking a little bit too much into the writing. After all, it is George Lucas's writing. He's not the best writer out there, sorry to say. But for those saying that, she was a soldier, military leader, although I think we are looking too much into it, and I think it is more of a effect of his writing than anything else. That is 100% absolutely true. That as a military leader, you have to compartmentalize, as we're saying here in the chat. You have to be emotionally detached. There is a reason why you go to boot camp and you only use last names instead of first names, so you can become emotionally detached from those who are working for you. So while I doubt, I'd love to give George Lucas credit for all that. I doubt he was thinking that much into it, but here's the story, and it works because as she is and you see she's got the holster at the end of this, the end of this series, and she wants to lead in a different way. So yes, she is going to be emotionally detached as a military leader.
She's got to be able to make decisions.
It's
Sure.
not true that she was not a military leader, and that she was just a political leader. To the chat, she was both. When you're in an armed rebellion,
Yes.
you are a paramilitary leader, and she's also doubling on a Senate career that she is walking away from. Essentially,
she literally briefs the squadron in episode 5. The snow speeders. She briefs them. She does some stuff in episode 4, and of course Endor. She's fighting on Endor. So yes, she was a military leader.
Yeah, she got involved in the rebellion, early on. We see that in some of the newer books that are out. We see that she is juggling two lives there, military leader and political attaché.
And if you read Claudia Gray's book, she had to leave the Senate because she knew she had to do something. So once again, she was called to, and then she started up the resistance.
Yep.
No,
After that.
and she was run out of polite society because of
Yeah.
her Vader connections. I mean, she kind of had the writing on the wall after Return of the Jedi about, one, there was still a neo-imperialist threat in the galaxy and no one would listen, but also her reputation was tarnished when it came out that she was a daughter of Vader.
Right.
So both things are true. It was convenient for her to leave.
So, Ro, I'd like to talk about the fact or the claim that I saw all week on social media that the Obi-Wan story was not at all about Obi-Wan.
I did see that.
I disagree.
Did any of you get that impression?
No,
No,
I disagree wholeheartedly with that.
Before we jump into that, I want to touch on something that Stephen said earlier this evening, and it's something that we talked about even before the series pushed off. We were trying to figure out what would it take for Obi-Wan to leave Tatooine to be able to to go off world, or at least to have this story be set in a place where Obi-Wan, where we're not just seeing Obi-Wan just watching Luke,
Right.
which
Which is what I didn't want.
right. It's like, what are you going to do? How is this series going to span 6 episodes of just him watching Luke? You talked about the Leia arc, and I know some people were concerned about bringing Leia into it, but I think that, and I remember hearing the guys over at Rebel Force Radio kind of speculate also that that's kind of a strong motivating force. You've got these twins that everybody is kind of separated for the reason of keeping them safe and making sure that they, grow up to be all that they can be. Sorry, Brad, I know that's an Army thing, not a Navy thing.
Way off.
But I think it's a great plot point to be able to bring, Obi-Wan off world and leave Luke. I think, he's watching Luke, but he's also, he's called upon to watch, to rescue Leia. So I when
What
I
else could
saw
you have done?
exactly, I don't know what else they could have done as far as trying to get him off world. I mean, he even struggles at that. Bale asks him to help out, and he's like, I can't leave.
Yeah. So
which isn't true. He's just afraid of his own shadow.
Right, exactly.
Right. So
That's
we,
part of the
many
journey.
times, we've talked about the hero's journey on the show, and what the hero's journey meant to George Lucas. That's what helped him actually write A New Hope, because he was stuck and he read Joseph Campbell. And literally, if you watch this show, go back and so I recommend anybody study the hero's journey, and then go back and watch the show. It has all elements of the hero's journey. You have the call to action, which is Bale pleading with him.
Sure.
The one of the most important parts is the refusal of the offer, right? And he says, he's, as Stephen was saying, he has all kinds of issues. The fact that he thinks the Jedi are defeated, he doesn't, he's disconnected from the Force. He's got a duty and responsibility to watch over Luke. He can't leave. Of course, he's making all these excuses as to why he can't get involved. You have, there's normally a character that helps develop the hero. In this case, it actually comes in the form of Leia, right? Where it's the opposite. Later on, it's Obi-Wan for Luke. In this story, it's actually Leia, right? You see how much he learns, right? Where Bale at the end says, I don't know how we can ever thank you, or how we can ever repay you. And he looks to Leia and says, she already has. Right. So she is that figure for him. So it came in the form of a 10-year-old. But you have, as he's going through, you even have like the belly of the beast, which happens multiple times. I was going to discuss this later, but there's a serious belly of the beast scene where Vader throws the rocks on him there at the very end. And his first thoughts are of all his failure with Anakin. Right. And he's having all these negative thoughts. And then it just clicks in his head. And then he has all these positive thoughts about the Skywalker children. Right. And as Stephen said, the hope that they can bring. And so he's able to turn his mind from those feelings of failure and dread into one of hope. And that actually allows him to get out of the, as we call it, the belly of the beast, right? And to free himself from the oppression of the rocks.
Mhm.
And then, the important thing of the hero's journey is the hero has to come back changed. Look at Obi-Wan and again, this is a 6-story arc or 6-chapter arc.
Mhm.
Look at him at the beginning of this arc and look at him at the end of this arc. At the very beginning, he's defeated. He's demoralized. He doesn't want to get, he's doing menial labor on Tatooine. And at the end, he's reinvigorated and he has hope. And so he does come back as a changed person.
Yeah.
So it has every element of the hero's journey. So I don't want to hear any more crap that the show wasn't about.
The narrative,
Yeah.
the narrative opposite of hope is fear. And that's, when he's buried underneath all those rocks and seeing, kind of recounting in his head everything that's happened, what he is experiencing is fear of failure, fear of like, oh God, I hope this whole thing doesn't happen again. Can I do this? Am I the man that I used to be? And the Skywalker children, again, like that's their point, is that they are the hope for the galaxy. I wanted to hear Qui-Gon in that moment. Like, it would have been, it would have connected, I think, nicely to a very silly, I think, movie. But where when Rey is holding back Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker, and then that's when she hears all the voices of all the Jedi speaking to her. I was thinking, surely right now this will be the moment where we hear Qui-Gon go,
That's what I thought too.
Obi-Wan. And then the lights come on. But the Skywalker twins works as well.
Yeah.
That was such a cool sequence. I'm also here for the raw aggression of that fight, because one of the great things about Obi-Wan v Anakin in episode 3, the physicality. It's the punches, it's the kicks to the face, it's when he's choking him on the table. I love all of that. And in this movie or this show, you got Obi-Wan taking his lightsaber and using it to bash his chest and break out the computer. That was super cool.
I texted that to Ro. Of course, we text each other like Wednesday morning. We're texting each other when he started using his hilt to go after the cybernetics on his chest. And again, if you want to talk about good storytelling, there was some here. We saw that chest plate being put on a couple times earlier in the show, so there was some foreshadowing there. And Obi-Wan went, and Obi-Wan had those visions of Vader. He went for the cybernetics on his chest. Like, no one ever does that when they fight Vader. They just lose at sword fighting. And he went for where it hurts. And then his immediate wheezing after that. Oh my God. Amazing.
Question for you guys.
CPAP.
Because I personally had a problem with this. During that fight, did you enjoy the cutaways going back and forth between that fight and Reva? Because I got to tell you, that pissed me the hell off.
I didn't.
I did not like that.
No.
I was like, you're completely taking me out of this intense emotional
the same
fight
problem that
between these
Phantom
two
Menace
brothers.
had.
Like, stop it. I want to focus on this fight right now.
Yeah.
Reva
was inconsequential. And actually, Reva to me was a waste of a story arc. I really wanted them. I really wanted them to concentrate on the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
That's why I said this should have stayed as a movie as originally intended, and it should have just gone straight to Disney Plus. It didn't need to be in theaters, but this needed to be a 2-hour movie or 2.5 hours. You didn't need Reva. I really did just want to focus on Kenobi and Anakin, because that really was the most compelling part of this show. And you still could have used the Leia thing to get him off the planet, but it really should have been just about Kenobi and Anakin.
Yeah, in episode 1, you have the cuts between, the Jedi fighting Darth Maul, and then you cut back to
freaking Gungans.
Well,
oh my God, stop.
And Padme's operation to secure, but we knew why the Gungan fight was happening. It was important. It was part of reclaiming the planet, and we knew what Padme was doing. She had a mission as well, which was to secure the Viceroy. So you needed to move those things along. The problem with the cut back to Reva in between this really, really important fight was that I don't think anybody knows why we were being subjected to watching this. Why on earth is she on Tatooine? What interest does she have in this
With this
hologram?
kid, right.
Yeah, it makes no sense
Yep.
why she went to Tatooine in search of just a kid to kill. She doesn't know who it is.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, you can't take us out of this important fight for a plot device that makes no sense. So it was very annoying.
That was one of my bugaboos.
How did she get to Tatooine?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, with the elimination of the Reva storyline, I think there would have been a little bit more time to massage that storyline between Anakin and Obi-Wan a little more, and even include some elements of Qui-Gon. I know everybody was trying to figure out, like, when is Qui-Gon going to come? He's calling on, it's foreshadowing. He's calling him. Where is he? Oh, we'll just dump him at the end for a quick little scene, and the fans will be happy. I think that was a disservice to Qui-Gon. I think it was a disservice to the relationship that Obi-Wan was trying to have with his former master in this form, in this Force Ghost form. I think we should have gotten a little more to be able to see Obi-Wan grow in the way that he relates to the Force, and the way that he relates to his former master.
Yeah, I think a good time for that, when they first, what was that? Is that episode 3 when they first fought? And Obi-Wan didn't do so well, and he was kind of at his darkest. I think that would have been a great time for Qui-Gon to show up and start counseling him on everything about failure. Kind of like the Yoda Luke talks in the sequel trilogy, talking about failure and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah.
And I think Reva should have been killed off. There were like 2 opportunities that were perfect for Reva to have been snuffed out. And they were both, Vader had opportunities to do it, and he didn't for some reason.
Yeah. And I think it just needs to be said in the open that, this entire character of Reva and the plot around her suffers from everything about the sequels, including like Rose Tico, right? That like, we're not allowed to talk about this. We're not allowed to talk about characters that just kind of are there and you're not really sure why. This element of like fandom has just got to stop, but it's not going to, and that's fine. It's fine. That's just the way it is.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Joker.
No.
Joker Voice talks about the one thing I was going to bring up was Vader's. We've been talking about the duel, and you'll notice something about Vader. He goes from using one hand in parts to 2 hands, on his hilt, and I don't think that's an accident.
Yeah.
I think you can tell when he is ultra confident, he uses one hand. For example, in episode 5, when he first meets Luke, he's using one hand because he's just toying with Luke. So when he's ultra confident, he's using one hand. When his nerves start to get rattled, and also you see this in episode 6 when he's fighting Luke, when he starts to feel like he doesn't have the upper hand, he switches over to using 2 hands on the lightsaber on the hilt. So I don't think that was a mistake or an accident.
Right.
I think that was quite deliberate, in fact.
Yep. Totally consistent with everything we've seen from Vader.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stephen, you said that you are here for the brutality of Vader, and I have to echo this, because obviously, as you can see, Vader is, I've said it before, Vader is my favorite character of any fiction anywhere. I'm just so enamored by Darth Vader, not only the look, but the character, the formation of the transformation between Anakin and Vader it's a fascinating thing. The fall of the of the chosen one. I love it. I think that in this series, we finally get a Darth Vader that all us kids have been hoping for a long time. And I know, we talk about, I wish there was a Vader series. I actually wish there wasn't a Vader series, because I don't want that character to be watered down, too much. I think, like anything, too much Vader is going to be bad. I said, just give us little,
Right.
give us little tidbits of Vader, keep him true to to that character at whatever moment he's in.
Right.
But I don't think we need a Vader series. Absolutely, because therein lies the danger of kind of taking a left turn.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
throw up that comment from the Jedi of Chicago as well.
See.
I agree with that as well, because I didn't get any Quinlan Voss. Quinlan Voss
right,
in
yeah.
the show. I only got a mention of his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sneaking Jedi out, if they do it right, I think that could be a really cool show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think to the Joker voice comment about the rematch being a ripoff of Rebels, I was thinking about this the other day, and I think it's worth noting that there are different audiences for different Star Wars products. Live action series are going to reach different people than the type of people who watch Star Wars animated shows. So for us, like, deep lore fans, and particularly like up and coming younger fans, they watch both. They watch animated series. They're going to watch this too. But there are just so many people, y'all, who do not watch animated Star Wars shows and are going to watch The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
All those fans.
And so those people are going to only be getting this one opportunity to see a fight like that,
Sure.
where Vader gets his mask cut off and we see his face. So I think we just got to step back from being precious about kind of repeats a little bit and remember that there are general audiences that this is their only time they've ever seen this. So
Right.
Yeah.
So, Ro, I wanted to bring up something. Another nitpick people had. I think you even may have mentioned this. Not going after the other ship. Only using the Star Destroyer to go after Obi-Wan's basically escape pod. And not going after the ship, and then
Launch a couple of these. Why don't you?
Just a couple of them would have worked. And then, actually, I like the fact that the Grand Inquisitor is like basically calling him an idiot, for going after the one guy and not for the ship.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right. So I said I would bring this up. I have an old theory, which this just goes to reinforce my old theory that Vader wanted the entire the entire rebellion to succeed.
Oh yeah, I remember that theory.
So I have a article I posted on Twitter if anybody wants to give it a read. Vader Rebel Conspirator is the name of the article. There are so many decisions that Vader makes that actually go to strengthen the rebellion. That what's a Sith's job? A Sith's job is to overthrow the Master and take his spot. Right, so I think he's doing that, and I think he's doing it on a galactic scale because it really was a stupid maneuver not to take out that ship as well. They could have they were in tractor beam range of that thing. They could have taken it in. So it doesn't make any sense, right? Although you might just call it bad writing. But we'll say it's not just bad writing. It doesn't make any sense. Vader's doing it on purpose because he wants the seeds of the rebellion to grow because he wants to overthrow Palpatine.
That's a hell of a theory, man.
It is such a stretch, and if they ever went in the
read my article, Stephen,
of Darth Vader being like setting up the rebellion to succeed to overthrow his boss, that would be a horror show. But there's a lot of logic to it. There's a lot.
Josh agrees with me. One person agrees with me. That means I'm right.
No, there's
Who's
a
Josh?
lot of
Nobody.
logic to it. He does not love Palpatine. He doesn't love the Empire.
Right. He never liked the Empire.
Well, I think he wanted it to be his, and he would have wanted to rule the galaxy his way, but he didn't sign up for having no Padme, a metal suit and breathing apparatus, and being second rung of a Sith power structure. So there's a huge case to make that he could do that. But
you typing that doesn't count. All right. I don't.
Oh no, man, it's in print now.
Oh man. But I remember you saying that. I'm thinking no.
I don't know.
Oh man.
Just read the article, all right? Just read the article.
Send it to me, Brad.
It's on Twitter. Just click the link.
We're on Twitter.
This is something that Joker's voice has said. Joker's voice said something correct here, and this is actually something my daughter pointed out to me the other day because we were talking about this idea of the Sith religion about the death of self and rebirth as a Darth, right? So the old self is dead, then you're born anew. Darth Vader.
You had the
believes-
conversation with your daughter?
Oh yes. Oh
Y'all
yes.
having some loaded conversations.
I
man.
know. How
We
old is
go-
she?
11. We go deep. But she brought up, and I was like, oh, you're right. Episode 5 is the first time that we see, like on screen at least, Darth Vader admit that he is Anakin. Because to say, I am your father, that is saying, I am a person who could have a son.
Right.
I am Anakin, and you are my offspring. Whereas earlier in episode 5, the Emperor says to him, the son of Anakin Skywalker lives. So
Right.
he's talking about Anakin Skywalker as a separate person from Darth Vader that he's speaking to. So this is like Vader actually going, oh, I have a son. And then that Anakin part of him starts to turn again.
You've been.
So that's when the rebellion begins inside his head. He's like, this was all a lie.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So Joker's.
All right. So the reason I brought up that theory, yes, it's absolutely a stretch, right? It's I wrote an article on why Alderaan being blown up was justified by the Empire, right? The reason we do these things, just have fun with it, folks. We talk about bad writing. Was there not bad writing since 1977? That's why Star Wars never won any awards except for,
Technical.
Ray
technical
shields.
awards,
Ray
right?
Shields. How did this
Especially-
happen?
right? So it's
It's
not
fiction.
great.
It's a movie.
Just have fun with it, folks. Come up with some
Imagine-
stupid theories.
Imagine if we all like bickered about the horrible writing of Kenobi dropping into General Grievous's lair and saying hello
Hello
there.
there.
Right.
It's
and
true.
and General Grievous does not say open fire. They could have killed him right then and there.
It's
But
true.
instead we had a really stupid fight, and it's ridiculous. But who actually looks at that and goes, oh, this is horrible writing?
We know a few people though.
I'm just glad Twitter was not around when that movie came out.
I mean, listen,
Open
you
fire.
needed a whole movie, Rogue One, to explain how Luke shooting
A
two
paragraph.
little fireballs
A paragraph.
explodes this entire freaking Death Star. I mean, even I, before Rogue One came out, as much as I love the originals, used to be like, really, that's kind of a stretch. But, whatever. It's a movie. It's fantasy. All right, fine. He blew up the Death Star just with those, that one shot. Cool, whatever.
Have y'all seen the?
That's why I like Family Guy.
Have you seen the fan-made video of young Anakin Skywalker in the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi being General Grievous?
No.
So I'm going to
I need
share
that
a.
link.
I mean,
I don't,
the Luke one that you shared.
yeah.
Yeah.
So is there a way that y'all can share a YouTube video, or is that outside of the capability of this? Yeah.
I think
So,
you'd have to send it
I'm
to
dropping
me.
I'm dropping it into the private chat. If you can share if you
Okay.
can share it with your audience, they will find this very funny.
Hold
Come on,
on.
bro. You're the smart one.
General Kenobi. Hello there. So, anyways,
Hello there. Hold on.
Somebody took the time to make that, and that's just incredible.
Oh my god! Just the thumbnail. I just saw it. Hold on.
It's pretty
Can you share
amazing.
the screen? Yeah.
Yeah. 1 second. Share screen. Audio.
and this is why prequel memes are a good
Oh, here we
thing.
go. Here we go.
Hello there.
Oh my god.
Want to meet him?
You want to meet him?
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Prequel,
Oh my
prequel,
God.
prequel memes for life.
Those are the best memes. Oh,
And we'll be flagged for that.
Copyright infringement. Damn, they got us.
That's
So
pretty awesome.
I'll be right back
Oh.
in just a minute.
oh, that was so funny. Oh my god.
So while Steven takes a break here, I wanted to go back and ask you guys. There's quite a cast in this series, but I wanted to point out a couple of breakthrough roles here.
Mhm.
Both new and returning characters and actors. We obviously got Bonnie Peace, which is Beru Lars. She
Mhm.
kicked ass in that last
Love her.
Yeah.
episode. Joel Edgerton, I love the fact that he is back as Uncle Owen.
You know, he did all these movies in the meantime, and it took me the longest kind of time to realize that he was Owen in episode 2. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
that's him. Like, holy crap. He's a great actor.
He is.
One of the things that I wish they would have done, you know, it seems like they did do some, I guess, oh my God.
What?
I wish that Brea Organa said something about her heart.
You really wanted that. You've mentioned that a few times now.
Yeah, I think that would have been cool. Are we going to get more O'Shea Jackson? I would love for him to pop up in Andor somewhere. What's his name? Roken?
Oh,
O'Shea Jackson?
I thought he did a good job.
I think he did fantastic. I think he was when he was on screen. He was a very captivating character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good.
If
you want
Joel
my
Edgerton
help,
was the best part of the whole
it.
series. he had what, 5 minutes of screen time.
Joel Edgerton was great, and it's really cool to see an actor like he was a nobody when episode 3 came out. He was at the very kind of like beginning of his rise in Hollywood, and then after episode 3, he got a lot of mainstream roles. I can't name any of the movies because I don't. I've seen him in a lot of stuff though. He played he played the lead in some like really awesome stalker movie where he was.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Like, so he's had a career now, and then coming back to Star Wars, now he's coming back as a somebody, which is neat. And I felt like he was underutilized, honestly. I would have liked to have seen more.
He was in a war movie about Afghanistan too. That was really good.
I would take more Owen Lars over the Reva plot, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And Moses Ingram did a great job. I just feel like her character just wasn't really needed in this story arc. I mean, we're thrown some great characters from the prequel trilogy that we are interested in seeing more of.
So I wanted to talk about.
I didn't need the Inquisitors, period. Honestly,
so, I want to talk about the Inquisitors because we had the third sister here, right? We had Reva, and then in Fallen Order, we had second sister, Trilla. Similar storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Sith Inquisitors a failed experiment?
Wait, in universe? In universe or behind the scenes?
But we can say both.
They're a pawn of the Emperor to move the ball on getting rid of Jedi in the galaxy, but they were never meant to stay around. At least I think. Like, Vader hates the Inquisitors because they are a threat to his position as the apprentice of the Emperor. So I think the Emperor, I got that wrong. So like the Emperor has the Inquisitors to keep a fire underneath Vader. Basically, if you want to betray me or you want to act badly, I can replace you at any time. So like that's what the Inquisitors are there for, to create Sith competition. So I don't think they're a failed experiment. I think they were made for a purpose and then they were done away with.
I think the Inquisitors are Sith light. They are really no match for Darth Vader at all. Yep. I think the Inquisitors were more of an annoyance to
Galactic
Vader.
Rent-A-Cops are like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't strike fear, like at least on.
They did a better job in the animation that they did in the live action. I think they were a little bit more.
Hello. Goodbye.
Sugar free.
The Grand Inquisitor's like wonderful entries and exits. Hello. It was cool though.
I thought it was pointless. I just did.
And what happened to the dude with the big hat?
With the lightsaber. You don't say how he came back. He just
what happened to the dude with the big hat? I thought he and Reva were going to go at it at one point.
Revenge does wonders for the will to live.
You don't say how Reva got off the planet after getting stabbed. I don't know, like
everybody just getting stabbed.
Or Qui-Gon. Be revived.
Yeah,
he got stabbed.
He was just too old. Too weak and feeble.
Oh, and then we had another Inquisitor that I would have liked to have seen more too. The fourth sister.
The one that didn't say anything.
The one that didn't say anything.
You wanted more of her not saying anything?
She was sent out to go deploy the probes.
Right.
Yes. She was like, deploy the probes now. And then she got up and
left.
We never saw her again. The brother was highly annoying. His whispery, like gravel voice was like nails on a chalkboard in a bad way. They needed to rethink that entire.
I think they needed to rethink the brutality of the Inquisitors. Period. I think, like I said, they did a better job in the animated shows, and they were just they were just there in this show. They were almost as bad as the Knights of Ren.
See, you keep making that. I don't like that, Ro. I don't like that.
Not that bad.
Not that bad, I guess. I don't know.
I do think, like, if you think about the show that we got, there are ways that you could have done this show with no Inquisitors. Like, you could have done this almost virtually without them. Yeah. And I think for a lot of audiences, and this goes back to my gripes about deep Star Wars fandom versus general audiences, I've had so many conversations now with people who are just casual Star Wars fans who watched Obi-Wan Kenobi and were like, who the hell are these people? Like, who are these Jedi hunters? I thought it was the rule of two. And I'm like, oh, but the comics and the animated shows. And they're like, what?
But Inquisitors are not Sith, though.
Right. I know, but that's the problem is people don't
know that.
Fuck the people.
Red lightsabers equal
Excuse me.
For everyday people.
My mom is part of that audience. And she was asking me, who are these people? I've never seen them because my mother only knows the original trilogy and then taking my sister and I to see the prequels. So for her, she had loved Kenobi. She watched every episode with me, but she kept having to ask me questions, and I had to tell her, well, this is part of the animated series. It happened in here. Yeah. Having to explain this stuff to her, and she was fine. It didn't change anything for her.
The more you lose fans. Yeah.
So
I don't know if that's true. I think, when you saw Darth Maul at the end of Solo, I know some people were like, wait a minute, what's going on?
He's dead.
But a lot of those people went back to do a little bit of research, whether they went back to watch the animated shows to figure out why he's here, or at least researched a YouTube video or two to have it explained to them.
Shouldn't it stand on its own, though?
Yeah, I don't know if you should be making people do that kind of research.
With an expansive universe and a franchise as old as this is, it's impossible. You cannot make a Star Wars self-contained at this point in time and say it doesn't count for anything else. You can't relate the other story elements to this. It's just
I just think it's unfair because George Lucas created this for this to be a general audience thing. If we go back to the original trilogy, literally everybody flocked to go see it, whether you were a nerd or not. It was such a general thing that was beloved by everybody. That's why it made the money that it made. So to now only focus on this one core group of people, us nerds, which I understand. And I love that we have something for ourselves because we've always been, seen as bottom tier in society, I guess, if you want to look at us versus jocks or whatever. But that's not the case anymore. It is being so accepted by everybody. So you're alienating your general audience. And I'm sorry, it is still a business.
Think about the Inquisitors in this, and think about if they had just done all the scenes with Inquisitors with a really elite group of Imperial officers, like a really power-hungry one who's like really looking to get into the favor of Vader, is excellent at hunting these former Jedi.
Yeah.
You could have done all the same things without making everyday Star Wars fans feel like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
I have never read a book or a comic book. And you know how much literature there is out there for Star Wars? I'm not going to go back and read every single thing that has been published.
Now that Steven mentions it, I'll tell you who would have been a good character to have in this. But the Inquisitors were, if you want to talk about a real life equivalent to the Inquisitors, they're basically supposed to be Nazi SS, right? The top of the line. Like you say Nazi SS, like automatically your head fills with all kinds of negative connotations as it should, because these guys were ruthless, and that's what these guys were supposed to be. But we also have the ISB, which is the Imperial Security Bureau, which is what Stevens. Now, if they had Admiral Yularen in this, let's talk about who Yularen was. Go back and watch Clone Wars, right? He was the admiral that both Obi-Wan and Anakin worked with. He was on the ship with. Yularen was always on the ship, and he was on the Death Star right? He went from being a Republic admiral to working for the ISB. And if you read the books, Yularen's in the books. So if you had somebody like Yularen, you had the ISB working with the Inquisitors, I think that would have added a really cool element to it. But yeah, now that you mentioned it, that's a huge missed opportunity there.
By the way, when I get a telemarketing call, and I know it's a telemarketing call calling me to renew my vehicle warranty, I always answer ISB security. How can I help you? They hang up right away.
That's awesome.
Dumbass.
That's cool.
We are going over our 1 hour mark, and I know our friends over at the Dork Wars podcast usually goes on after us. I apologize, Blake. I almost called him Jake.
Don't do this to me when I premiere Scarif After Dark next
Blake.
week, okay?
Anyways, let's get to our giveaway and then final thoughts, because we can sit here all night and talk about this, but you guys want to do the Sentry mode, Brad? What do you think?
Sentry mode.
This is Sentry mode.
All right, so dramatic. That's
Four things to give away today.
Yeah. So Steven's book. We got another Lego. We got a Boba Fett Target Con exclusive Funko Pop, and an autographed Gecko Tiki straight from Dominic Pace.
All right, what's the first prize, bro?
Let's do the first prize. Is hold on a second. First prize is, I gotta jot this down so I know who gets what. The Boba Fett Funko Pop.
Ro told me to make these questions hard tonight, so if they're really difficult, you can blame him.
And then you know what? I'm gonna put a timer on there. I don't want anybody going to Google.
Okay. All right.
I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever. We're just giving away stuff.
Yeah,
because that's what we do.
Honors.
That's how we get
All right.
friends.
Star Wars Funko Pop, Boba Fett.
All right. Question number 1. What corporation is the manufacturer of the Star Destroyer?
Oh,
Deep cut.
yeah.
What corporation is the manufacturer of the Imperial Star Destroyer?
Just like in the screen.
Boba Fett. Funko Pop number 462. Target Con. What?
Ha crickets.
Crickets.
Don't
forget.
You stumped them.
Well,
Or they
now
stopped watching, one or the other.
I know there's still 19 people in here.
All right.
Nice.
Your Google's the fastest. Yes, it is the Quat Drive Yards. He's the manufacturer of the Imperial Star Destroyer. Of course, I think it was the Quat Drive Yards and Sinar Fleet Systems that actually spurred the whole galactic civil war. I think it was them that actually did it to support the military-industrial complex. That's a different conspiracy theory. We'll get back to that. But yes, Jedi of Chicago, Quat Drive Yards. That is correct.
Excellent. Jedi Chicago is going to be at Scarif Con, so I will hold on to this and last week's prize. I think he won something last week as well. All right. Next one, you want to do this wonderful Star Wars Lego, the Razor Crest Microfighter. Does it come with a little Boba? Who is this guy? The Mandalorian?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Jeez, bro.
All right. Oh, let me get this off.
All right, should we have Jedi of
Do that
Chicago
in 10
not answer
minutes.
this one?
What was that?
Should we have Jedi of Chicago not answer this one so we can give
That
them
is
all out?
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Give everybody a chance.
All right, so Jedi, if you could sit this one out. All right, so for the second prize, Jabba the Hutt has a Kowakian monkey lizard that is his pet, as well as a court jester. What is the name of Jabba's Kowakian monkey lizard?
Earl.
When my daughter was 8, we went to a
You can't-
Comic-Con.
What the?
I haven't said anything.
No,
No,
that one over there answering questions.
I want to add to my Lego.
Oh my God.
We did a trivia, and this was the question that she got, and she got it wrong, and she cried.
What did
All
she
right.
say?
Oh, I don't remember, but it wasn't Salacious Crumb.
All right, so
It
Josh,
was Earl, wasn't it? It was Earl.
Earl.
Josh had the full name. It's either JV or Josh. Josh.
I was gonna say, give it
yeah.
to Josh because he
It
got the
is
full name.
Salacious B. Crumb.
Hold on a second. So Josh, just writing it down.
I didn't know I had to recuse myself.
I want to address something that Joker Voice said. It says he still hasn't gotten the prize from. So
Uh-oh.
I think Fred the Jedi was supposed to mail that out. So somebody, I think Kelly was supposed to forward your information. So make sure that Kelly has your information, and then Kelly will send it over to
No,
to
Josh.
Fred the Jedi. So you get your. All right, Steven, let's take a look at your book. Where's
All
your
right.
book? That'll be the next one.
I don't know. I don't have any books.
You're messing up my order.
Oh no.
Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just zoom in on Steven. Okay, so the guy
How
in
the
the,
Force can fix the world.
yes, the guy on the
Google
big
it.
screen wrote a book, and I am going to get you out a signed copy of the book.
Wait, hold on a second.
Okay,
Oh, the
I would say I don't have any. near
mine's
me.
on the bookshelf, and I don't feel like walking over to get it.
I know mine too is downstairs.
Nor did Steven ever send me a sticker for it, but that's okay. I won't give him a hard time.
Oh, what did I miss?
You didn't send me the autographed sticker from my book.
I can't read.
Wow.
That's all right. I still read it. Okay. There we go.
There it is.
It's a nice cover.
Thank you.
Yeah, they did a really good job on that cover.
Especially because it's blue.
All right. So for a
It's all Return
signed
of
copy,
the Jedi and shit.
How the Force Can Fix the World by Mr. Stephen Kent. Yeah, we'll go with this question. Who was Ayla Secura's Jedi Master?
Oh.
Who
Not
was
Earl.
Ayla Secura's Jedi Master? Not Earl, not Salacious B. Crumb. No. JV got that one.
Say again.
JV got that one.
All
It is.
right.
Quinlan Voss, we mentioned him earlier in the show. Quinlan Voss was Ayla's Jedi Master. Yes, you could
Congrats,
see
JV.
Quinlan Voss for exactly 1.2 seconds in The Phantom Menace, but we would like to see more of him. So,
Well, Megan really wants one though.
Poor-
Megan, buy the
Okay.
book. I'll send you a signed something if you just like DM me some information of where I can send something extra to really just cherry. on
Mate,
I mean,
Megan's-
unless JV wants to let Megan have this one and he can be in for the last one. What do you think, Joker Voice?
I think JV needs this book.
I think so too.
It will bring you peace, sir. I jest.
I don't.
All right, let's see here.
I want you to have it.
I'll tell you what, Megan. I'll get you one as well. So, Megan, you win one as well. So, Megan and JV, I need both your informations. It's going to take me a little while. I got to get the books, and then I got to get the information to Steven.
For the stickers.
So give us probably a couple weeks on that one, but we will get you both a signed copy of Steven's book. So
Megan's gonna get so much stuff at ScarifCon. It's not
I
even
know.
funny.
so
Relax, Megan.
Watch
right.
that luggage weight.
All right. Final question.
too late, Megan. I'm already doing it. So
No, gotta make it happen. The force is strong.
yeah. What's our last prize here?
Megan, you know we love giving stuff out
Tiki
to
cup.
friends.
Grand finale. Piece de
Oh, yeah.
resistance.
Autographed by Dominic Pace. Season 1, The Mandalorian. Geeky Tikis. Our friends at Beeline Creative and care of Dominic Pace. Look for him on Twitter. If you are in one of the cities that he happens to be in, please go visit him and tell him hello. Tell him the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast and Red 5 Network sent you. Say hello, take a selfie, post it, tag us, and have fun. But obviously, he's going to be here in Chicago on July 23rd at Murray's Caddy Shack. But in the meantime, if you don't win one of these, he has plenty available for sale at ScarifCon, special ScarifCon pricing, and he will sign it as well. He'll sign the box. It's actually a really nice box. I'm going to get another one just so I can keep one in the box, and yeah, it's nice.
I'm never taking it out.
I know isn't that weird?
I don't want to.
Again, it's really nice.
Beautiful.
All right. There he is.
All right. So if you've already won a prize for tonight, please refrain from answering. Chantal, please refrain from answering. And that'll give the remaining folks more time to Google the correct answer. So for the last prize, what Jedi commissioned the Clone Army? Spelling matters. What Jedi commissioned the Clone Army? Spelling matters.
And he's not Mexican.
What?
You'll see. You'll see.
Why is it even relevant?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh,
I got you. Spelling matters. Yeah. JT. Sorry, Vader.
Oh, man. Vader Rapina, I got something for you.
Wait. No. Sorry, JT. No.
Wait.
No. Megan, no.
Wait, who is it?
Nicole got it.
Nicole got it?
That is the correct spelling.
Sifo. Nicole got it?
Yep.
All right.
Now let me just double check myself just to make sure, but I'm 99% certain that's the right one. That is correct. Nicole got it.
I'm going to put up JT's because I told you he's not Mexican. Sifo Diaz, man.
Sifo Diaz.
Oh my God.
Nice the chorizo.
What?
I mean, she said I couldn't pronounce it, so I'm not going to let her.
No, you cannot at all.
Okay. So congrats to Nicole for that one.
Yeah.
Congrats to all of
Cool. Excellent. So I'm going to have Dominic send you that, Nicole. He's going to have to sign it. He's got a couple in hand, so we'll get we'll get everybody's address and Joker voice again. Somehow you got his address?
I just got it. Yeah. I'm going to send it to you, Brad.
Okay.
Chantal, I want to do Scarif After Dark sometime. Sounds like fun. Sounds like a mess, but sounds like fun.
It's going to be really
We're the hottest
messy,
of messes.
super moist.
Jesus.
What? It's 9:30.
This is the PG show.
That he
If
just
you're-
said
if
he
you're-
Rose
if
said the
you're
F word
watching-
earlier.
You get fuck per PG.
If you're watching Stranger Things on Netflix and watching it with the subtitles on,
Yeah.
the sound effect that plays every single time the demon is on the screen is in parentheses wet squelching. We've been dying at home with just like
That's
wet
sexy.
squelching, wet squelching.
I want a t-shirt that now says wet
Me
squelching.
It's just so aggressive.
That's hilarious.
All right. Well, it's about that time. This is when the whole thing just crumbles.
It's about that time. Just want to play a very Oh, there you go.
I'm being serious, or you better keep this nice and tight next week because I'm going to premiere at 9:30. Okay.
Get them right where we want them.
Nice.
Sounds good. And what are we doing next week, Shanti? Let us tell us.
Miss Marvel.
We're going to be talking about Miss Marvel. Such a great show.
I'm so
Steven, have you caught that yet?
I heard it sucked.
No, it's
You
not really
suck.
it's not really my thing.
You can still watch
Oh,
it.
you think that, and I
You have
thought the same
kids.
thing, and boy, did I change my mind after watching the 3 episodes, the first 3.
I'll keep it in mind.
Watch it with your daughter.
Okay. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
not watch it alone.
It'll be a good. Well, I don't got any kids, and I watched it by myself, but it would be a good bonding moment for your daughter, with you and
Okay.
your daughter. Yeah,
Cool.
give it a chance.
Sounds good.
Jeez, the whole
Because
chat just collapsed. We start talking about tight, wet things, and everybody just loses their mind.
derailing.
Everyone had a heart attack.
Ro is just like, y'all are destroying my show.
Objective completed.
He didn't know what he was signing up for when he asked me to be co-host. I was so shy. First
You
came on.
were.
Yeah,
Now it's
that's
like-
over now.
Now it's Scarif After Dark. What the hell? Steven, do you remember how we sign off from our last time? Do you remember how we do it?
No, I don't.
Just give us where people can find you. Tell us your name and give us your best. That's the scuttlebutt. And I got scolded last week from Dave that we didn't say it last time. So we got to make sure that we say it. That's our little signature thing.
My name is Stephen Kent. I'm the author of How the Force Can Fix the World, Lessons on Life, Liberty, and Happiness from a Galaxy Far, Far Away. You can find me on Twitter at Stephen_Kent89, tweeting about all things Star Wars and politics. And that's the scuttlebutt.
Woohoo!